Donald Trump, former president of the United States, put it a full mass. Well, he is trying to utilize his cronies, his cult, in order to create more chaos. Per Mediaite, Donald Trump took to social media to urge his followers to protest at local courthouses all over the country, just like pro-Palestinian protesters, according to his narrative. On the morning that opening arguments are scheduled to start in his criminal trial for hiding hush money payments to women he is alleged to have had extramarital affairs before the 2016 election, Trump referenced the raft of pro-Palestinian protests, which have recently shut down many bridges in major US cities, before suggesting his supporters peacefully protest his treatment. Quote, America-loving protesters should be allowed to protest at the front steps of courthouses all over the country, just like it is allowed for those who are destroying our country on the radical left. A two-tiered system of justice, Trump posted on Truth Social Monday morning, just hours before his trial started. Now, I'm going to read the expanded version, but let me highlight some nuances here. If a gang leader, I don't know, maybe the gangsters who are being prosecuted in Fulton County, who are basically studio gangsters, rappers, if one of them says something like this, do you think they would be held in contempt? Do you think perhaps the DA would charge them with inciting? Of course. But Donald Trump is doing this because he knows they're not going to do a damn thing about it. You see, the only people holding Trump accountable are Black women and one Black male. Outside of that, Trump typically will push the envelope and then he will cross the barrier. With millions watching and many people benefiting from this program called Indisputable, we just need 1% of the viewers to become a paid member so we can continue to bring this content to you. Now back to the show. Trump wrote, put it up full mass. Why are Palestinian protesters and even rioters allowed to roam the cities, scream, shout, sit, block traffic, enter buildings, not get permits, and basically do whatever they want, including threatening Supreme Court justices right in front of their homes? And yet people who truly love our country and want to make America great again are not allowed to peacefully protest and are rudely and systematically shut down and ushered off to faraway holding areas, essentially denying them their constitutional rights. America-loving protesters. Now, I want you to see this. He's utilized this twice now, okay? This is America-loving protesters, ALP, capitalized. This is a brand. When Trump does this, he's creating a new brand, all right? American or America-loving protesters. That is going to come back up again. Should be allowed to protest at the front steps of courthouses all over the country, just like it is allowed for those who are destroying our country on the radical left. A two-tiered justice system, free speech and assembly has been chilled for USA supporters. Go out and peacefully protest, rally behind MAGA, save our country. The only thing you have to fear is fear itself. Now, he contextualizes this as peaceful protest. He does that in order to avoid significant connection to the violence that may happen after his proclamation, because he knows fundamentally he's speaking to a violent group of people. He's talking to the same people that attempted to hang his own vice president of the United States. He's talking to the same people that wanted to rip the United States Constitution, overthrow democracy. So he doesn't have to say anything other than go. And he knows exactly what they would do. It is in their character. There's more. Some may recall when Trump called on his supporters to march at the Capitol, January 6, 2021. It was a terrorist attack. Peacefully, a riot broke out. He said, do it peacefully, but a riot broke out, led to pro-Trump supporters, convinced the election had been stolen by Trump, who then tried to stop the certification of the Electoral College. Trump has since added to his previous complaint with another post, this one comparing police actions at Columbia University dealing with death threats and the fact that he thinks it's unfair, so unfair, he says, that his protesters are unable to do that outside of his court trial. Here's what he said. Unlike at Columbia University, where the radical left Palestinian protesters, you see those capital letters again, radical left Palestinian protesters. Once again, this is a brand. He's creating a brand against this group while creating a brand for his, sat on the front lawn, practically took over the school and screamed, death to the Jews, death to Israel, death to America. And nothing happened to them. Lower Manhattan surrounding the courthouse where I am headed now is completely closed down. So unfair. Keep this graphic up. You have a man who fundamentally does not understand freedom of speech. Now he's lying about the narrative. We understand that. But even if this whole thing is true, you have the right to use words. You also have the right to assemble. If people are sitting down, I don't know how you can be more peaceful than sitting down. He's complaining about protesters sitting. Here's the other dynamic. This is to the Christian evangelicals. If Donald Trump was innocent of the alleged crimes against him that are both moral, ethical, and also illegal concepts to his character. If he was innocent, why would he want people to stop him from going to court? If he did not fear the prosecutors, if he did not fear the judges, if he did not fear the evidence, why would he call on his supporters to do this? It's because he's guilty. It is because he's well aware he will likely be convicted. It is because his attorneys have already told him, you may not win this case if it actually goes to trial. Hell of a thing. Sharon, the man is gearing up for a takeover. And if he gets power again, anyone who tried to prosecute him, they're going to be arrested.
Yeah, they're going to be rounded up. Yep. And the things that he is truth socialing about, he's actually describing the things that he's done to people Correct. Who were peacefully protesting Lafayette Park. Remember that? Is that where he held the Bible upside down? It's nutty. It's a distraction. And yes, very astute to point out this new brand, the grift is coming, Doc, I think is what you're alluding to as he gears up for the run to take over again. We'll see. We'll see. But I would think by now people would be on to it. If they're not, you've given them the blueprint. Yeah.
And there are people onto it. They simply want it to happen. They don't like democracy creating inclusion. They don't like democracy creating equitable outcomes. All right. Okay. We'll bring you updates as they come.